Okay, Likutei Torah page 50, Acharei Mot, mamish at the end of the page. Okay, so the Alter Rebbe is explaining that before, at the beginning of creation, it was Chafetz Chesed. Then it's the Aved of Yidden, and he says this Brasi Yitzartev Afasisiv, and just like the fire needs fuel, so it needs Torah mitzvahs, and he's explaining now it's the three kavim Torah, Tefillah, Tzedakah, the three worlds Bria, Tzir, Nasiyah. So in the middle now he's saying that Tefillah is a level of machshava, Bria, because it's the level b'chol avchem, with all your heart. Okay, but nevertheless, the second line is in the end of page 50. Commandment Azal, Tefillah b'lei kavana, the davening without intent, is kaguf b'lei neshama, like a body without a neshama. It's like a dead davening. So he's saying that Tefillah primarily is thought. We need to say the words, if not, you're not Yetzer. That's only she'akel ma'era kavana. The voice should awaken kavana, l'cheinu b'makom ha'kabanis. And the Aved for kabanis, the tluya b'kahana, was dependent on a kohen. B'uvdo b'rosa deliba, like it says in the Zohar. Which means, what's the Aved of a kohen? What's the Aved of davening? Shetei kavana se'u machshavte. His intent, his thought, should be b'dvuk b'Hashem, because we learned many times the word tefillah has a lot of meanings to it. One is a prayer, which is not true, because that's bakasha. But tefillah actually comes either lefalel, to judge, or to be judged. Tefillah comes from the word atefel klicheres, and Naftali Rashi says, from the word of chibur, connection. Tefillah binds the Jew to Hashem. If davening is primarily the whole inyan of machshava and kavana, means I'm binding what's davening all about, not milmayla lamata, but milmata lamayla, from lower to higher, that I'm binding myself to Hashem. Limbs and nafshe v'ritzayin Hashem, to give over our will and our one nefesh to Hashem. Lislei rakrotz and echa v'levach, only to have one heart and one will. La'aviv shebishmaim, to our Father in heaven. And not to be separated from Hashem. How? Through Sur Meirah, means not to be separated from Hashem. Asay Tov is to be connected. When a person breaks evil, as I yored all over Hashem al nafsh. Okay, so he says this is the level of tefillah as one of the fuels. The fuels are the three pillars. Bria, Tzir, Nasiyah. Tefillah is a level of machshava, meaning machshava and kavanah, I'm binding myself completely to Hashem. That's what davening is all about.
Shusterman,
yes, sir.
when I close my eyes and talk to Hashem, am I doing tefillah?
You mean during the day?
During the day.
Yeah, the mitzvah of tefillah, biblically, according to all opinions, if I have a need, then I have a biblical mitzvah to daven to Hashem. The three davenings a day, Shachris, Mincha, Ma'ariv, according to many opinions, is rabbinic. Some Chassidus says, whoever says that never saw lights in their days. But that's in Le'yodah Eres Miyomav. But in Halacha, that's a very powerful, the Alter Rebbe brings on both opinions in Halacha. But according to all opinions, if I have an issue, and I say, Hashem help me, or I say a parak of Tilim to help me, that's fulfilling a biblical mitzvah of davening. According to all opinions. Yeah.
How do you know by uttering tefillah or tehillim, we not get answered?
We always get answered.
So, but how do we know that?
We always get answered. Sometimes the answer is no.
And sometimes it's yes, Rabbi.
What's it? Yeah, sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. Because a normal parent, not today's parents, a normal parent, if they understand for the kid it's not good to do something, they're going to say no. It's not no because they're mean and cruel. It's no because they love the kid so much. They know that what the parents don't give them and what the kids want extra is not good for them. One second, let me finish. When Hashem gives us stuff, He gives us what we need, not what we don't need. Because Hashem knows better than us What we don't need is not good for us. Because if it would be good for us, he would give it to us. Now this person gets it, this person doesn't get it. Because for this person it's good, for this person it's not good. But tefillahs are always answered.
Where in Torah it says that by davening or uttering words of Torah, I can change the outcome. That's the
Da mala mala mimo. You want a pasuk in Chumash, you mean?
I mean, where? Is the Oraita or the Rabban?
Minatera.
In the Torah, it says that I utter tefillah, I can change the outcome of my destiny.
Because if not, there wouldn't be a mitzvah to daven. Why would there be a mitzvah to daven if it didn't do anything?
Because I want to connect to Hashem.
That does something.
Of course. But
No. What's better? What's better than connecting to Hashem?
That's the ultimate.
It's going to change the outcome of something.
Yeah, it's going to make me understand that it's good.
Granted that.
Who says the outcome has to be what I want? Hashem says, I'm going to have the outcome what I want, not what you want.
Of course, but I'm davening here in the shul now, here.
Yeah?
And I want the outcome changed now.
No? So sometimes Hashem will answer you, and sometimes He won't.
Rabbi, it's
And I won't answer you. Sometimes He'll say, the outcome that you want is not good for you, and I'm not giving it to you because I love you too much.
But we have a process that if you utter the words, the outcome is going to change. We have such a thing in Torah.
That it's going to connect me to Hashem.
Rabbi, what does it mean when
1 second. Relationships, the test of a good relationship is not when everything is good. The test of a good relationship is when things aren't good and it's still a good relationship. Correct? Okay. If a person's relationship with God is, hey God, when you do what I want, then you're my buddy. And if you don't do what I want, I have nothing to do with you. That is not a relationship with Hashem, period. It's not a relationship with us, it's a relationship with yourself.
No, there's no doubt there.
Okay, so.
Question.
Rabbi, what does it
What?
mean?
What?
What does it mean when Hatzadik Geiser V'Akadosh Baruch Hu Mekayim?
That's not tefillah. What?
No, but I'm saying that the tzaddik could actually change things. A tzaddik can change whatever the outcome.
Because the
might be.
tzaddik sees that it's good. What?
Yaakov Avinu on the way to Haran, he made a deal with God. If you do this, this, and that.
He didn't make it. We learned that in the Maimon. He didn't make a deal with God. He said, when I reach a level that Havaya will be Elohim, then, when I have that, then I realize that Havaya and Elohim is the same thing. Not a deal, then you'll be my God.
It's a statement, it's not a deal.
Okay, weiter, let's go.
Didn't Yeshua pray and the sun didn't go down?
Yeah, Yeshua prayed to Hashem and Hashem listened to him.
So it changed.
Yeah, it changed. I said sometimes Hashem changes, sometimes Hashem doesn't change. Sometimes Hashem wants us to pray. In other words, Hashem wants it to change, but and Hashem knows the outcome, right? But He wants us to daven, because He wants us to realize that when we realize that He is the boss, then He will do it for us.
That's how that.
When parents teach children, they're supposed to, they don't do it anymore. When a parent's supposed to teach a child to say thank you, right? Parent does something for the child, yeah? The parent is obligated to teach the child to say thank you to the parent, okay? Not that the parent needs the thank you. Trust me, parents don't do it for their kids to get a thank you, because they never get it. Okay? So why is it important to teach a child? It's not that the parent needs the thank you. The kid needs to know that I have to say thank you. It's not the parent needs the thank you. Right? If that's your case, don't even start. It's not going to happen. Especially teenagers.
It's called Yalidka, they pray for the child, and Hashem liked it.
Because Hashem, it says in the Medrash, Nesava Kodesh Baruch Hu L'Tfilas Shel Tzadikim. It says, why did Hashem make Sarah no children, Rivka no children, Rachel no children? Right? Why? Chana no children. Why? It says because Hashem loves. It sounds funny, but if you learn Chassidus, you understand what it means. Hashem loves when tzaddikim daven. Hashem loves it's an entertainment for, not God forbid, it's an enjoyment for Hashem. So how does he get a tzaddik to daven? He makes them suffer, and then they daven. But the davening elevates the person to be a vessel for it. I told you a story of a couple, they needed a child or whatever, and they didn't believe in the Baal Shem Tov. They were anti-Baal Shem Tov. And somebody told them, listen, nothing's working, you might as well go to the Baal Shem Tov. So reluctantly they went. So the Baal Shem Tov said, you want a bracha? It's 100 ruble. So the husband got, because the husband was really against. He started negotiating a deal. So Baal Shem Tov said, 100 ruble, take it or leave it. So the guy got so angry at the Baal Shem Tov, he says to his wife, let's get out of here, I'm going to daven to Hashem, I don't need him. Baal Shem Tov said, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what you needed to get the bracha. Your vessel was that you realize I need to daven to Hashem and He's going to help me, and the Baal Shem Tov gave him a bracha and they got what they needed. The Rebbe told the story, the previous Rebbe told the story. The Rebbe told the story. There was once when the Rebbe Rashab just became Rebbe after the Rebbe Marash passed away. He was very young because the Rebbe Marash passed away at 54, so the Rebbe Rashab was very young. He had an older brother, but the Razor refused. Okay, so the Rebbe Rashab became Rebbe. So at the beginning of his being Rebbe, a Yid came to him, and he said to him, I need a bracha. So the Rebbe Rashab said to him, I can't help you. I can't help you. So the Chassid walked away crying. The Rebbe's brother, the older brother Razor, was there. Okay? And the guy comes crying. He says, why are you crying? He says, I asked your brother for a bracha. He told me you can't help me. So the Razal went to the Rebbe Rashab, his younger brother, and said, what shtick is this? At least tell him a nice word. What do you tell me you can't help him? What's wrong with you? Kid brother. So the Rebbe Rashab said, okay, let him come back. Came back, he gave him a bracha, and it was successful. So the Rebbe asked, what's the explanation of the story? Why didn't the Rebbe Rashab was a Rebbe? So the Rebbe said, because the Rebbe Rashab saw that person wasn't a vessel yet for the bracha. How did he make him a vessel for the bracha? He told him, I can't help you. The person became broken. That made him a keli for the bracha. It wasn't chas v'sholom, he didn't want to help him. Talking about a Rebbe. His whole life is helping others. This is his whole existence. Right? Somebody called the Rebbe's house in the middle of the night. The Rebbetzin answered the phone and they apologized, So the Rebbetzin said, this is the whole reason why we're here. What do you mean apologizing? This is why we're here for. Okay, what did you want? Tell me your problems.
Very deep within, to daven from deep inside, there should be suffering.
Should we daven to be suffering? No.
No. For somebody to daven from the own God, the liver, he should be under pressure, he should be suffering.
It says in Shulchan Aruch, in the laws of Rosh Hashanah, who should be the chazan? One who has a family to support, one who has issues, because then he davens, he means it. He davens, but guy that thinks he has everything, those are the biggest problems, by the way. Because they have nothing. People that think they have everything have nothing. It's the people that think they have nothing have everything. Shofar guy.
Shofar so good.
Yeah. Okay. Therefore, the Chacham instituted Berachas Shachar Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Ha'olam. What is the bracha? What are we asking? We're asking Sheyum Shebechinas Havaya. That Baruch Atah Hashem, Baruch being down, right? The level of Atah and Havaya. Lahavas Ha'olam is that he should create worlds. When we do a mitzvah, right? We're Berachas Shachar. We're saying, Hashem, come into the world to give existence to the world. Yud-Kei Vav-Kei means Mahava, the creator. That godliness shouldn't leave the world. Like the nature of fire, and this again, Elokeinu means it's mine, it's my God. I own it, it's one with me. To the extent that Hashem's name should be called upon us. Like we say in davening, Elokei Avram, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov. It's a funny expression. What do you mean he's the God of Avram, Yitzchak? He's not my God too? What is Elokei Avram? So the Mephosh, even the Mephosh was sitting explaining, Elokei Avram, because he was so great, Hashem was one, he was a Merkava, he was both to Hashem. And we say Elokeinu. Every Jew says Elokeinu. Okay? Elokeinu, Elokei Abiseinu. It's ours. Elokei Avram, because he was a Merkava. But he should be Melech Ha'olam. This is what we say in a bracha. We bring down Havaya, that he should want to create the world, not leave the world. And we should become Elokeinu, we become one with him. And through this Melech Ha'olam, that he stays in the world, that he's functioning in the world. So why are worlds a separate entity if it's Elokeinu and Havaya is being revealed? Because Melech Shmei Nikra Ein Melech B'lei Am. Meloshen Eimim is Dvarim Zarim Nifrodim. Because the only way a person could be a king, like it says, Ein Melech B'lei Am. Okay, Am means nation. It also means separated. A Melech, you cannot be a Melech, we learned many times. You can't be a Melech over your own kids. Because they're an extension of you. Definition of a king is like we say, Ma'ariv. U'malchusei b'rotzein kiblu aleihem. What is a Melech? That there's foreigners, separate people, that subjugate themselves to the king. Like it says, Shem yeh lahadam harbe banim, ein nikra shmei melech aleim. He's not called the Melech. He says, Mashenk in Yisrael, we're called banim lamalkeim, bra kara davo, sha'areg, or batal eitel rosh. So we have both things. We have both advantages. That's why we say every day in davening, Avinu Malkeinu. L'cheira, Avinu and Malkeinu contradictory. If he's a father, he can be a king. If he's a king, he can be a father. So he says, what's the pshat Avinu Malkeinu? So he says, we're Melech Ha'olam, we are Banim Atam L'Hashem Elokeichem, because the Zohar says, Bra Kara Davor, the child is the knee. Kara is the knee of the father. So we have both minus. We are children. We have the mile of a child. We're extension of the father. And yet at the same time, Chassidus explains, Banim Atam is the neshama of Eved, Malkeinu is the body, which is not bottled to Hashem by nature, and so on and so forth. The Friediger Rebbe said that he has an advantage over all other Chassidim. All the other Chassidim of the Rebbe Rashab were Chassidim. But he is a Chassid and a child. So he has both advantages. So what are we davening? That Hashem's revelation shall stay in the world. He says this is dependent. What causes Hashem to keep in the world? What's Hashem's food? Lachmi. what is the fuel that keeps Hashem in the world? He said, that's our Avodah. That's our Avodah of Torah Mitzvahs. That is the fuel that keeps Hashem in the world. What?
I thought you should.
Yeah. Neshama is same Pnimius Ha'ilams. Okay, the Neshamas are the Pnimius of the world. Meaning, what do you mean Pnimius? The ultimate purpose of creation. Like it says, Shem Shiyav, the Medrash says, Shem Shiyav Shel Eilam B'Lo Ruches. The Medrash says, just like the world can't exist without directions, without the four corners, Yiyav Shel Eilam B'Lo Yisrael. Why? She Yisrael Hem Kiyum Umayimit Kol Eilam's. That's why we say the three pillars, Gimel Kavan, right? Shloshi Dvarim Ha'elam Eimed. Torah Avodah Gemes Chasadim. That means the world stands on the three pillars. And what does it mean? The world is standing on like at the cover of the Talks and Tales, the world stands on three pillars. What does it mean? Torah Avodah Gemes Chasadim is what causes the world to exist. Why does it cause the world to exist? Because that causes Hashem to come into the world to make it exist. So who makes the world creation of Yesh Me'ayin? So before Matan Torah is Chavos Chesed. After Matan Torah, now it's what we do. In Torah Avodah Gemes Chasadim. Ve'ukama shel chaya guf. Just like the life of the physical body, Tuluyim b'pnimius, nefesh hachiyunis, are dependent on the essence of the nefesh hachiyunis, shem yash'ei ze me'ora b'nafsh hachiyunis. Because if there's something wrong in the nefesh, the whole body comes sick. Because now the nefesh can function in the body, if the nefesh is dysfunctional. Therefore we say, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech ha'olam pirush, sheyavorech v'yumshech. It should come down. Li'ashem avaya lahavis kol hanimtzoyim. That what caused it? Now he's saying another shot, also in there. Baruch atah Hashem. What causes the coming down of avaya? Aidei shehaya lanu b'chinas Elokeinu. Then he could be melech ha'olam. What causes Hashem to come down? So we say Elokeinu, the fact when Hashem becomes one with me. By doing Torah mitzvahs, Torah Avodah Gemes Chasadim, through this we have Melech Ha'olam, we bring down Hashem into the world. So in other words, Elokeinu means, what causes Hashem to create the world Yesh Me'ayin? That is Elokeinu. When we connect Hashem, we become one with Hashem. And therefore we say these brachas every day. Why don't we say these brachas once a week, once a month, once a year? You know. He says, Ki mechad b'tova b'chol yom tabin ma'aseh v'reishis u'ma'ava isa liyash ma'ayin ha'muchlet. Right? So therefore we end up to say it every day. Truthfully, we should say it every second. But you can't say it every second, so we say it once a day. Because Amchadish B'Tuvei B'chol Yom Tamid, it doesn't only mean every day, it means continuously. But you can't just... So that brings down the Elokus into the world. And he says, there is no Gashmistic emotion to show this concept, okay, that we're bringing down Hashem into the world. Where do we have a physical analogy of this? He says, every day, the morning follows the night. Why? Like the creation of the world. First was darkness. Like according to Torah, the day begins from the night before. Why? Because the Chumash it says, Vayi Erev, Vayi Baiker, Yom Echad. Why was it like this? So the Gemara says, like the first the Gdim, the first the goats go, whatever, the whole Moshe and the Medrash. The bottom line is, because the whole purpose of creation is to make Erev, darkness, into Baiker and Yom Echad to reveal godliness. Yom is really revelation. Vayi'era, vayi'berka. So he says, where do you see a gashmiistic mashal for this? First is darkness, then comes light. That's a yesh mi'ayin. He said, where do you find yesh mi'ayin in gashmius? He says, one of the places is, first is dark, then becomes light. So light from dark is yesh mi'ayin, basically. Because darkness and light have no connection whatsoever. So it can't be yesh mi'yesh, because they're opposites. So it's yesh mi'ayin. Okay, so until now the Alter Rebbe is explaining this is the level of tefillah, which is the world of berasiv, right, which is machshava, binding our whole kavanah to Hashem. Then he says the yitzartiv, that's the level of dibur. Why is yitzira dibur? Because yitzira is a tzura, a form. What is speech? Speech is a formulation of machshava. Machshava is like, unless we always think in letters. Yeah, machshava is the nefesh mali asius, machshava is, but sometimes they're not so tangible, the letters. You have two levels of machshava, okay? You have a machshava, I think, but then when you have to make a speech or you have to say something, so then you're formulating the words in your mind. That is the level of dibur of machshava. Because dibur, in machshava there's machshava shem machshava and dibur shem machshava. So the level of dibur shem machshava means I'm formulating the words. That's what dibur is. That's the word yitzira. It's tzura. The machshava is like the matter, and now the form is the level of yitzira.
Shua.